Flynn, coming to you from beautiful Los Angeles, California. In this lesson, we'll be diving into slide guitar, more specifically the style of Duane Allman. Now, the really amazing thing about Duane is that he had only been playing slide for maybe 3 to 4 years before the time he died at the age of 24. But during that time, he really sort of wrote the rule book for electric bottleneck playing, and a lot of his slide licks can be heard in contemporary rock and blues guitarists today. So the thing I was just playing there was sort of loosely based off of Done Somebody Wrong, written by Elmore James and covered by the Allman Brothers on numerous occasions. And I wasn't really taking note for note what Duane was doing. I kind of just put together a bunch of little Duane Allman isms, kind of his signature licks that we'll be looking at in this lesson. Now, Duane was influenced by a lot of the blues cats, Muddy Waters, Elmore James, Sunhouse, Robert Johnson, but he was also listened to a healthy amount of harp players like Little Walter, and a lot of vocalists too. He was backing up Aretha Franklin and Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, when he was a session player at Muscle Shoals. So that definitely had a huge influence in them too. Let's have a look at this solo. First of all, I'm in open E. Open E chord. It's E. Fifth string tuned to B. Fourth string tuned to E. Third string tuned to G sharp. B string stays the same, and B stays the same. And the great thing about open E and a lot of other open tunings is that you have the luxury of sort of playing these open chords. The 12th fret, you got the open E. You have these little box shapes too that kind of make up the chord and make up the blues scale around it, like this. So there's a lot of licks you can kind of build off of those box shapes, and a lot of licks just waiting to be discovered. So the solo I did, I'm starting off with this lick. That's how it goes. Notice how I'm muting the strings. I'm using my first finger and my middle finger behind the slide to kind of you just mute the string so it sounds. If you don't do that, you get the doesn't sound as good. So you want to mute the strings, and that lick I was doing was sort of based off of like kind of that Little Walter sort of lick. It's got that harmonica sound. What I'm doing is I'm sliding up to the 8th fret on the 5th string, and then down to the 8th fret on the 4th string, like that. After that, I'm sliding down to the 7th fret. Another really kind of crucial element of slide guitar is that we have these sort of microtones in between the frets. And what I mean by microtones is that you have a lot of different little pitches that you can get in just one fret. See what I mean? So if you start at the lower end of the fret, you get a different sound. If you go up, you get a different sound too. So we're going to kind of stay at the edge of the end of the fret. So kind of the 8th fret right there. That's the idea. Then after that, we move down to the 3rd string, and we're sliding back and forth between the 8th fret and the 7th fret. Sound like this. Let me do that really slow for you. That's our first lick. Then the next section in that phrase, we move down to the 3rd string. This is how it goes. So what you're doing there, kind of similar to what we're doing up here, except we're on the 3rd string. Sort of same little phrase there. We're going to add some vibrato to that last note. Then after that, we're going to do this really cool lick here. I call it the train whistle lick, because it sounds like a train whistle. You're at the 10th fret. You sort of slowly slide up to the 11th fret. Kind of like a snail, just really almost barely moving. It's almost like we're stopping time, we're doing that. And then after that, we just go back to the 8th fret, kind of just walk up to the tonic or the C. So that whole lick together sounds like this. Throw in some vibrato too, that's always... So those two licks together will sound like this. There you have it. The 3rd lick I'm going to teach you, we're going to again move down on the 8th fret to the B string. And this is kind of reminiscent of, if you're familiar with Statesboro Blues, kind of reminiscent of that famous lick. There's a lot of, kind of standard Duane Allman riffs in that. So we're going to start with the 8th fret. Or I'll play it to you for first. So we're sliding on the 8th fret, down to the E string. 8th fret E string slides down to the 7th fret. And again, we're kind of staying at the end of the each fret. So right at the edge of the 8th fret and the 9th fret. And at the edge of the 7th fret and the 8th fret. Adding some vibrato. Duane loved to do that. Then we're doing another similar lick to what I did before at the 10th fret. And we're at the 10th fret E string and just slowly doing that train whistle. 8th fret. So that whole lick together sounds like this. Alright, and the next lick, so we're going to move up to the 20th fret. Basically the same box as the 8th fret, but it's just an octave up. This is really good for when you're trying to like build a climatic solo. You know, you start low, but then at the end of the solo you kind of go high, really high up. And that sounds really good, the slide, really sweet. Goes like this. So basically just sliding. We can go from the 8th fret, slide from the 8th fret to the 20th fret, and hit the E string. Sliding from the 20th to the 19th fret. Then we're going to do a little kind of a bird call riff that you can hear in Layla. You know, Duane does that really high up bird sound. So we're going to do something kind of like that. And you can hold that out as long as you want. And you can pretty much go as high as you want to. It won't sound bad at all. After that, we kind of do this quick little slippy, slidey lick from the that's the 22nd fret, 20th fret to the G string on the 16th fret. It's another classic Duane Allman, you know, sort of riff there. And kind of end with just going back and forth between the C. And we'll end on a C chord. So that whole lick together will be like this. That's kind of the idea. Let me play everything together. And that's a kind of a crash course on the style of Duane Allman. Of course, there's a lot more with slide guitar that we could go into, a lot more things we can get more technical about, but this is a good kind of a direction into the style of Duane Allman. And you know, the important thing about the slide is just to keep developing your ear, just keep practicing. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Hope you picked some stuff up from it. Hope you are able to use these licks, you know, in your own music or wherever you go to jam. Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon.